Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Roshamjoe Paints. As always, my name is Joe and today what I'm going to be doing is putting together the Beast-Skewer Killbow from the Age of Sigmar Orruk Warclans and just seeing, how it looks, how big it is, and how many little guys are going to fit on a tiny little thing. But who doesn't love giant crossbows? So, with that said, let's get So here we have the Orruk Warclans Beast-Skewer Killbow, and it says that it is one miniature. However, it's one model, one unit, but it is actually 3 little guys and 1 larger of the Cruel Boys. And then, of course, you have the lovely, lovely giant crossbow. Looking at the back here, you can see the overhead shot. Can you? Oh, look at that. I stayed in frame and everything. The overhead shot of, this is I would say like the gunner. He's aiming and getting ready to fire. And then you've got a little guy getting ready to load up another one. There's this guy over yonder, who's, I don't know, he's doing something with that axe. And then, of course, this is the guy I didn't see before, who's actually crushed like underneath the weight. He's the one who's carrying all of the new skewer arrows. Those have a specific name, but I'm not going to remember it. Anyways, and then again, you have the 1-to-1 on the back because there's enough size for it, so you could see, that's a pretty good size model. So now I already opened this box because who gets a box and can't open it right away? Not me. But I didn't cut everything off because I would be wasting an opportunity. So it's got this one. This is a single. What do you call these things? Wow, brains. It's a single thing. Anyways, what I noticed though, and I'm sure you did too, is this tiny little piece here. No, this gigantic piece, and I love this. I love when they do stuff like this. As long as it's not the entire base for me. So what this is you've got the piece that the crossbow or whatever this is called, siege weapon thing, is going to sit on, and then you've got, here's where their feet are. It's hilarious because it's just going to be pegs put into holes, and then their toes already exist on the model itself. So there's really no repositioning you could do because they don't have feet unless you do that. But I do like when they do the little diorama type of things. They did this with another one of the models was the Reikenor or something like that. He's one of the Night Haunt ones that's on the big flying horse, and there's like an entire statue and mausoleum looking thing. I love that as part of the base. Same thing to a lesser extent with one of the Necrons has like a bunch of pieces in the base, and he's actually disassembling. I painted this guy earlier on, and I can't remember his name. Anyways, so let's talk about the model here. These are parts of the larger guy here, and then you've got the littler ones. I mean, it's going to be, I think, a push to fit model, and again, you can see the overall length of the weapon here. It's pretty cool. And I did take a quick look at the instructions as well. And I'm pretty sure this is going to just lend itself to sub-assemblies. Can we get the whole thing in there? Nice. So you're going to have, basically, you're putting together the one who's actually going to be doing the shooting, and then he just kind of plugs into place. I am going to pay attention to pegs this time because one of the pegs actually goes through the entire shaft of the weapon. Wouldn't want to mess that up. But yeah, you got the crossbow is basically one assembly. The large orc is one assembly. You're going to have your little guys who are again going to be one assembly. Even this little one down here, who's underneath the bag carrying the ammunition, you can paint him separately too. So realistically, it looks like, here you go. Put him on, then attach these 2 guys to the thing and slap them on there as well. There will, of course, take a little bit of painting on this because you're going to need to paint their feet and the chains and all the little accoutrements that go along with that. But it's like I said, it's a nice sight to see. So let me get cutting this thing apart. We'll put it in some sub assemblies and we'll go from there. So that took a little more effort than I was expecting it to, but overall we are done here, and we do have sub-assemblies. Now, this one I was hoping to be able to paint separately, but because of, let me see, make sure I can, I guess I could do that in post anyway. Um, so one of these wheels is free spinning, so you have to put it on, and then it's got a peg, so you want to make sure it lines up correctly. Now this guy is actually three separate pieces, and he was the bigger problem because it wouldn't quite scrunch down as tiny as he needed to get. He's also being kicked in the face, which is hilarious because like this guy's using him for leverage or something to pull the next shot out. So overall, there's actually like 1, 2, 3, 4 pegs that hold this little sub-assembly of guys on, but I did end up gluing it to this base simply because I wanted to make sure um, that everything was lined up, because this this piece here is actually attached to his face. So whoever designed that, masterclass in puzzle maker. So anyways, one other thing I will note is I did drill these out just ever so slightly so that I um, could put the models in, but then I wasn't going to struggle to get them back out. You see, it just falls right back out. Struggle to get back out and end up breaking the pegs off. So you got to turn them the right way even. So yeah, so he'll go there, but it will be a part of us. I will paint him separate, and he pops right back out. One other noteworthy thing is technically I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, but this is still loose. I'll probably paint that separate. Kick that over there for a minute. This piece in general, pretty complicated. And that is because as you go to push it together, you'll note the little spikes. And so if I were to reenact it, it would basically be me pushing as hard as I can and stabbing myself, not only with the spikes up here, but all the little spikes everywhere else. So I'm actually quite surprised I didn't break a bunch off. So yay. But this is 4 separate contact points on this, and then a giant piece that glues in here. So you have to put it on a little bit, add the glue, and just kind of line them up, and then push it all together and stab yourself a few times. The other thing was the 2 legs here that actually hold it to the base. I did not glue them on at first because I wanted to make sure, like in the book, it just says glue them on, but there's no really alignment to it. It's just a circle pin, so they can free spin around. So what I did was I left them free floating and put it on the base all the way till it kind of clicks into place just like that. And then I ended up putting this guy, and here is the piece that actually goes through, and then a second peg here that attaches. And so what I did was I put him, let's get that lined up. Let's get that lined up, and everything just goes. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together, right? That's perfect. So there you go. His peg's in place. And then once this was in, and I knew that it was the correct height, then I just took a little bit of thin glue and dropped it down in there, and no one will be the wiser unless they watch my videos. So finally, this last guy, you saw him before, he was on earlier, and he will go here, and there is a peg that holds it together. So voila, now you have a siege weapon, giant ballista looking skewer, Beast-Skewer, what is it called? Beast-Skewer Killbow. Perfect. So yeah, I mean, overall, like, it wasn't the worst thing to put together. I do really like that it again comes apart in sub. Oops, I forgot. It's not even complete yet. Got to put that back in there. This actually has like a little bit of an alignment, just like that. That way, it doesn't fall out. So there you go. Overall, I just wish, the only thing I wish is that these guys were able to be painted a little bit separately. Like I said, they commingle so much that you have to kind of glue them together. There's a couple lines, like that one just stands out like crazy, so I'm gonna want to clean that one up. But overall, not a whole lot of mold lines that I saw. This square, this like plus sign up here, or multiplication sign, however you're holding it. This was probably the worst one to clean up because there were so many contact points on the sprue that you had to cut off. Other than that, I mean, they did a pretty good job of making the lines or the cut points hidden. And gosh, everything in here is so close. I don't know how you would paint this. Like, look at from the overhead. Like, I don't know, how you would paint this. without it being in some assemblies. So, but it is, and I'll throw up maybe a picture or two. That's what it's looks like assembled. That's what it looks like separate. And yeah, if you made it this far into the video, as usual, let me thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe and tell everybody about me. Nope, don't need to do that. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was helpful. And if nothing else, tune in again whenever I end up painting it, because it's Roshamjoe paints, not Roshamjoe puts a bunch of stuff together and never paints anything. Why doesn't he get back to it? That's kind of how it is in my head. But yeah, we finish this ramble and say thank you again, and hope to see you next time. Hopefully I was high enough into the frame. I really wasn't looking, so.